The story of Saint Jerome has been told for centuries through art and literary texts. With the passage of time, details about his biography have been sensationalized, feeding the visual language that denotes his identity. The resulting figure is the culmination of artists and writers building upon their predecessors for hundreds of years. The Penitent Saint Jerome was realized around 1585 by Jacopo da Ponte, also called Jacopo Bassano. A stellar example of the saint's iconography, it helps us delve deeper into understanding who the saint was and how we identify him today. In the scene before us, Saint Jerome sits in the wilderness, living as a hermit. His face is filled with anguish, and his beard is unkempt. He intently stares at the crucifix before him in an act of religious meditation. Pondering earthly life and death, he grips the skull set on the table. His other arm is outstretched, holding a rock with which he beats his chest. It is through this self-castigation and suffering that the saint atones for his sins, his act of penitence. But piety is not the saint's only trait being represented. Born into a noble Christian family around 341 AD, Saint Jerome received a thorough literary education. Eventually, he went on to revise the Vulgate Bible, a task assigned to him by Pope Damasus himself. Many depictions of the saint show him in his study, emphasizing his scholarship. Other works gently nod to this fact. Here, Bassano includes books strewn throughout the scene, at St. Jerome's feet and atop the table, a long-established method of alluding to his contributions in translating the Bible. His red garb is another characteristic that has long endured in the visual tradition. Along with the hat strung on a branch behind him, it recalls the dressings of a cardinal. This choice is curious, as St. Jerome never was a cardinal. But a mistaken interpretation of the Golden Legend, a compilation of saint biographies written in the Middle Ages, led others to believe differently. As centuries of artists included this detail in their work, the red garb was cemented as an identifying factor of the saint, becoming a symbol of his importance in the church. The lion, here at the saint's feet, is also a distinguishing feature stemming from the Golden Legend. During the saint's time in Bethlehem, a limping lion stumbled upon the monastery where he resided. All fled in fear but Saint Jerome, who stayed to give aid to the beast. Upon finding a thorn in the lion's paw, he pulled it out and the lion healed. From then forward, the lion became his subservient companion. It remains an emblem of the saint's kindness and compassion. Behind this work lie centuries of other paintings in conversation with one another. The various elements coalesce to tell a story of Saint Jerome, not just as a penitent man, but as a dedicated scholar and compassionate healer.